Good morning, I'm Alex King.
And I'm Nathan Edwards. Here's three quick stories to get your day started. Dayton Mayor Jeffrey Mims raising the pride flag at City Hall. This kicks off a month of celebrations, including a parade and festival tomorrow at Courthouse Square. A lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, absolutely. Love to see it. And the Ohio State Highway Patrol warning drivers to pay attention in work zones. May seem obvious, but in Springfield, this driver drove into wet concrete at an exit ramp on I-70.
Oh, man, you probably had to feel like
Talk about a bad day.
A bad day indeed. Just pay attention, people. It's not that hard. Apparently it is, though.
Yeah, it is.
And it's First Friday in downtown Dayton. Get out and enjoy some patio beer. Maybe a show at the Levitt Pavilion and a lot more. It starts tonight at 5. People are going to be out and about. It's going to be a fun weekend.
Yeah, it's definitely patio season. I'm excited for it.
Plus we got Strawberry Fest. Yeah,
oh, yeah. While you were sleeping, crews in Dayton battled what they're calling a suspicious house fire.
Now, you're taking a look at the scene on Edison Street in the Roosevelt neighborhood. Crews tell us it all started around 2:30 this morning. They found a building completely engulfed in fire. It then spread to a boarded-up house next door. And according to fire crews, 3 people were living in that second house. Both homes are total losses. You're taking a live look now at the White House. A bill to prevent the nation's debt default is now heading to the president's desk.
We're expecting remarks from the president today.
The 60-vote threshold having been achieved, the bill is passed.
The Senate gave final approval late last night, voting 63 to 36. Senators spent hours voting on proposed amendments to the deal, all of which failed.
Ohio Senator J.D. Vance voted no on the bill. He said in its current form, he has significant concerns.
The basic issue that I have with this package is pretty straightforward. If you think about the goal here, the goal is to, on the one hand, pay the country's debts, make sure we don't default. That's important and necessary. On the other hand, put us on a more sustainable pathway long term.
The U.S. Treasury says the country will run out of money to pay debts by Monday, so the president will need to approve the bill before then. President Joe Biden tweeted out this message. He says senators from both parties protected our economic progress by passing the bill, and he looks forward to signing it into law as soon as possible. He also says he'll address the country sometime today.
Coming up in just about a half hour, John Lawrence has more details on the bills passing the Senate and the senators who voted no.
Good morning. We are looking at, right for now, temperatures, generally speaking, in the 50s. So it's actually technically cooler than this time 24 hours ago. But I think that cool weather is actually a misnomer. It's dry outside, or at least drier. And what that means for us is temperatures should be able to get well into the 90s today. So dry weather cools more rapidly during the overnights. It also heats up more rapidly during the daytimes. What you get is eventually these temperatures climbing all the way into the low 90s. So it is going to be quite a warm night for baseball. Temperatures at first pitch in excess of 90 degrees. So it won't be just 90 degrees on the radar gun. It's going to be 90 degrees actually at the ballpark. And probably there's going to be some spots between the concrete and everything where it actually may feel like the mid 90s. So yeah, be prepared for some warm overall temperatures. On the roads this morning, haven't seen any tie-ups or concerns thus far. There was an earlier incident at McCall Street and Abbey Ave at Dearborn as well in that intersection. Also, it's worth pointing out 675 still dealing with that road construction, as well as up and down 75. And as we saw yesterday, give yourself some extra time on those roads, especially around those construction zones.
2 people are now dead after a semi-truck overturned in Dayton. We first brought you this story as breaking news yesterday morning. The accident closed I-75 north by Stanley Avenue for hours. Both people who died were inside the semi when it crashed. The cause is still under investigation.
The Dayton police officer who shot a man at a traffic stop in April will not face charges. The Montgomery County Sheriff's Office investigated Officer Riley Brown for the shooting on Salem Avenue. Police say Brown saw 36-year-old Delandrius Webster pull a handgun while running from officers. That's when Brown reportedly shot at him.
looking at footage of the drive-by shooting in Cincinnati that put 3 children and a man in the hospital. Now police say they found the car used in the shooting. Take a look at your screen. It's a black Hyundai Sonata with tinted windows, temporary Kentucky plates, and a broken out rear window. The people shot are still recovering this morning in 2 different hospitals. Warmer weather means you're probably turning up your AC. That could lead to a higher energy bill.
But a recent auction could bring your rates down. Clara Faith tells us what officials at AES are saying.
Good news for AES Ohio customers. Starting this month, you can see a decrease in your energy bill. This comes after the Public Utility Commission of Ohio conducted its annual auction for utility companies to bid prices based on electric supply. AES Ohio representative says customers could see a $1.03 decrease in their bills starting this month.
PUCO bid for that respective utility to get a fair and balanced price for that day based on market conditions. We are the lowest in the state of Ohio for transmission and distribution rates.
I also spoke with Duke Energy, who serves 500 customers in the Dayton area. The company tells me customers will see an average increase of nearly $37 a month on their bill. Reporting in Dayton, Clara Faith, Dayton 24/7 Now News.
This afternoon, the city of Davenport, Iowa will update the public on the major building collapse Sunday. You're looking at footage of the debris and rubble here behind me. City officials announced yesterday a demolition company will help with recovery efforts, that they will help U.S. Army Reserve Task Force 1 as they search for missing people. Officials say search and cadaver dogs are on site. As of yesterday, 3 people who lived in the craze zone are still unaccounted for.
You're taking a live look at Troy right now. The Strawberry Festival kicks off tomorrow. It's the largest festival in downtown Troy. Now, this year's theme is Berries Rock. There's going to feature concerts, art, and vendors of all things strawberry, of course, plus a beer and cider garden. Sounds good. That's on top of other food trucks and vendors working hard to make the festival special for families.
And the festival took to Facebook to clear up some confusion about scam posts. The event is free. You don't need to pay for tickets. Also, there is no more vendor space available, so don't pay for a place. If you have any questions, you can contact the festival directly.
A new medical office on Brown Street is now accepting patients. Premier Health and the University of Dayton opened doors to their new facility yesterday. They partnered up to expand their lab services, rehabilitation and counseling services. The 47,000 square foot building will also provide an employee health center for UD employees and after hours clinic for students.
The historic Traxler Mansion now has a new owner. The 112-year-old building sold yesterday at a foreclosure auction. It was heavily damaged in a fire back in April. The property is on the National Register of Historic Places. The Montgomery County Treasurer's Office did not share how much the mansion sold for.
Our time right now at 5:07. Don't forget, you get your headlines scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
And your weather on the side of the screen all morning long, even during commercials.
New dire warnings about a country running low on resources, including electricity. I'm Christine Frizan with a look at the causes and effects.
You're watching Your Day. And this morning, we are learning lawmakers and some industry leaders say the electric grid could be overwhelmed in a matter of months.
The concern stemmed from more people relying on the electric grid as reliance on other forms of energy like coal and natural gas is being reduced. Christine Frizzell reports it's creating a climate conundrum.
In much of the country, summer has already arrived. As usual, those hot temperatures bring the need for more power, especially air conditioning. But what's unusual is some of the dire predictions from the North American Electric Reliability Corporation, or NERC.
The risk of energy shortfalls is increasing and spreading to more areas of the country.
NERC is now putting 2/3 of the country at elevated risk for insufficient operating reserves. An overwhelmed electric grid, the slowing use of fossil fuels like coal and natural gas to balance the use of the grid, and new regulations like a lengthy permitting process that makes developing new energy take too long.
We need more homegrown energy, natural gas, coal, uranium, you name it, we need it all.
The Senate Energy and Natural Resources Committee looking into the issue.
When electricity is unreliable, the potential consequences are nothing short of catastrophic, including loss of human life.
But the American Society of Civil Engineers says 92% of power outages come from just 3 things: vandalism, aging infrastructure, and the number 1 factor, severe weather.
We're talking about outages that are caused predominantly by severe weather, which is a result of climate change.
In some parts of the country, experts say there's too much power generation, but not enough demand. And with $3 billion in the Inflation Reduction Act to build new transmission lines, some say they're optimistic about our future grid.
We have areas that are producing too much solar or too much wind at certain points, and we just don't have enough load or demand to use it. So if we install more lines that pipe that power to where it needs to go, the grid's just going to become more efficient.
Still, the biggest issue, the timeline. With Congress left to figure out how to fill in the gaps of phasing out coal and natural gas, experts say will be needed for years to come, and build out an electric grid already threatening to give out, and with temperatures now climbing. I'm Christine Frizzell reporting.
People in Texas are now recovering with flash flooding. Here's some video showing road conditions near Lubbock yesterday. You can see a truck and several cars stranded in the floods. That looks very intense right there.
Yeah, we talked yesterday about that was one of the only spots that was actually potentially going to see severe weather. It's been very quiet across the United States. Quiet enough that I was looking at Baltimore and New Jersey, and their National Weather Service offices were tweeting at each other that this is the first time Baltimore's office in its history has not issued a severe thunderstorm warning at all during the month of May. I'm not quite sure if Wilmington did. I'd have to go back and check, because don't forget, it's not just the Miami Valley, it's also over in towards Columbus, but it's been very quiet here, and has been for the last couple of weeks especially.
So when does that change?
Not anytime soon. You know, honestly, I'd see more temperature swings than I do any type of heavy duty weather. Now, don't get me wrong, there's still a chance of maybe an isolated shower, but in terms of, you know, okay, are we going to see widespread rain? I just don't see that right now in the offering. It's 60 right in Dayton. We've got 56 in Troy, 55 in Wapakoneta. And you look over the dew points, reminder, these were up around 60, 65 yesterday. It was very much so a humid one. That has since backed off, and because of that, temperatures are going to rise a little bit more rapidly today, aiming for the low 90s. You want to talk about a pool day? This is it. It's going to be relatively scorching outside. Tonight, 65 degrees. It should be mostly clear and still pretty warm outside. I don't really see tonight being, let's say, very, very humid, but I see it certainly being a lot more humid than it is for today. Tomorrow is your best chance of rain, and you notice the shower and not even showers. We're talking about maybe 1 or 2 somewhere in the area. That would be about it. Temperatures retreat into the 80s for Sunday and Monday. It is worth pointing out that next week, again, the temperatures will swing down. We're going to go down into the 70s. So a little bit of a change to the forecast because we think that cooler air will arrive. But it really just does not seem likely for us to see a whole lot of wet weather. So if we go beyond Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, Tuesday as well, without much of a chance of rain, now we're starting to talk about 2-3 weeks of a pattern without rain. And of course, we've had a lot of hot weather. Things are going to become a lot more stressed when it comes to crops and certainly some yellow lawns. But on the optimistic side, hey, At least you won't have to mow as much. Meanwhile, on the roads this morning, the dry weather has led to, well, a lot easier driving conditions. Still, you want to give yourself some extra time in and around the construction zones. And, oh yeah, it is Friday, so we've got that going for us. Let's make it to the weekend all together safely.
5:17, our time right now. Oh dear, caught on camera. Just ahead, police officers in Ohio play park rangers, how they save the day and help a scared fawn.
You're watching Your Day.
Time to do some dog of the day, or should I say dogs of the day, pets of the day. It is all the dogs here. So let's go in order. We've got Georgia, the pug. We've got Ace, the Boston, and Tilly, who is the Frenchie. So we have three, and this is not my own term. This is from Andrea. Three smush faces, if you will. Obviously, three good-looking dogs here as well. So kind of a fun crew, if you ask so myself. So today's pet of the day, all the dogs. As for today, going to be another warm one. Yesterday, we hit 89 degrees in Dayton. It was relatively a scorcher. I think we're going to be a few degrees warmer for today. I think like yesterday, a lot more sunshine than clouds. There could be a couple afternoon and evening clouds, but with that drier weather moving in, at least briefly, it does look like that may put an end to any type of heavier clouds during the afternoon. Even yesterday, from time to time, still blue sky at about 3, 4, 5, 6 p.m. when I was out and about with the old Valkabeest, and she was enjoying her pool, and I was enjoying the sunshine rather briefly. Meanwhile, no one enjoys a morning commute. Well, at least many people don't. You know, maybe you like the serenity of the roads. Right for now, things are quiet across the area.
The FDA approved Pfizer's vaccine against RSV for adults ages 60 and older. It's the second approval granted for shots offering protection from the virus this month. The virus was a key driver in the winter's triple-demic of COVID, flu, and RSV that was particularly hard on young children, resulting in overwhelmed hospitals. Well, almond milk yogurt topped other plant-based milks for nutritional value. A University of Massachusetts Amherst food science major found plant-based yogurts overall have less total sugar, less sodium, and more fiber than dairy, but they have less protein, calcium, and potassium than dairy yogurt. Well, the average American would travel nearly a half hour to eat their favorite food. This was conducted by one poll on behalf of the American Lamb Board, and it found the average American tries at least 6 new recipes per month and reimagines their food by adding different seasonings. Also, 27% of Americans would be more likely to try a new food while traveling, and 16% would be willing to try new food cooked by their partner. From the NASDAQ market site, I'm Jane King. Here's your health.
That's the sound of a baby deer. Check out this good-hearted police officer who helped out the animal that was tangled up in a backyard soccer net. Neighbors had tried to help free the fawn, but the nearby mother deer was too protective. The responding officer came equipped with the right tools, and it only took him a minute to cut the baby free. It jumped onto its hooves and ran back to his mother, who was waiting close by. The little baby was probably so scared.
Oh, look at that.
Bye. I'm not even grateful.
Now, I don't think that that deer is as New Jersey as you were just now.
I love the fact that whenever you see these animals, there's some ones that turn around. You can almost see them look at you like you didn't take me out. Thank you, and then they bolt off. That one was just, I'm out, freedom. And of course, the mother, probably thinking the same thing. Was
you don't
get out of there.
Yeah, you don't think soccer nets would do that, but I mean, or that they would get caught in that.
Yeah.
But
I've seen deer and other animals get caught in so many things at this point that nothing shocks me. You always see one bear a year gets head stuck in a gallon bucket, and those are always great videos where the bear is just clunking into things.
Just Pooh Bear with some honey. That's right.
That's true. Very
You're
true.
not wrong.
Our time right now is 5:24. A live look this morning from Troy. Look at that beautiful fountain lit up red this morning. It's the first weekend in June, and hello, Strawberry Festival. In minutes, Nick is going to have your weekend forecast.
And a huge moment last night on Capitol Hill. In minutes, John Lawrence breaks down the debt deal and the latest move by the Senate.
In today's Tech Bites, a new warning for consumers about your money. If you're storing it in those peer-to-peer payment apps like Venmo and PayPal, it may not be protected by federal deposit insurance. Federal watchdogs say users risk losing their money if those companies behind those apps fail. Google Wallet will soon let you save passes and membership cards by just taking a picture. The feature will work as long as the item has a QR or barcode. Google will also be able to support digital IDs, just like Apple. Finally, Meta's new virtual reality headset is the Quest 3. It's 40% slimmer than its predecessor and has double the processing power. The unveiling came days before Apple is expected to announce its new reality headset. Quest 3 will be out in the fall with a $500 price tag. VR is such an immersive experience. Really gets your head in the game. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
Claire stayed in this amazing hotel and paid this much for her room. Jess stayed in the same hotel and paid a lot less. How? Let's go back. While Claire found her hotel on her usual booking site, Jess found her deal on Trivago. Have a look-see, Claire. Trivago compares hotel offers from major booking sites so you can find the best deal for you. Hotel Trivago.
With Allegra, allergies don't hold us back. Allegra starts working 2 times faster than Claritin. And unlike Zyrtec, it won't make us drowsy. Allegra gives you the fastest, non-drowsy 24-hour allergy relief so you can live your greatness.
Can a can of Lysol take care of my snotty sofa?
Can do. Mildewy tiles? Can do.
These?
Yep, it's the Can Do can. Nothing kills more germs on more surfaces than Lysol disinfectant spray. Lysol, what it
Good morning, I'm Nathan Edwards.
And I'm Alex King. Here are 3 stories to get your day started. Frontier Airlines is now giving you the chance to buy an all-you-can-fly pass for the fall and winter. It costs $299 until June 13th. The promo includes unlimited travel from September 2nd through February 29th.
Oh, unlimited travel, eh?
That's
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah, that'd be, I mean, if you love to travel and maybe you do it for work, be a great option.
Yeah.
And the new Christopher Nolan movie Oppenheimer just earned an R rating. He's confirmed it's the longest film of his career, coming in at just under 3 hours. And the IMAX prints are 11 miles of film stock and weigh about 600 pounds. I heard Tom Cruise is actually really upset about this because I guess all the IMAX theaters are booking Oppenheimer and not Mission Impossible, and he's been fighting them. So some drama.
Still in the tea.
That's right.
And an unusual discovery at a California beach. A woman found this mastodon tooth while walking along the shore.
It was like this big. We're having some technical difficulties.
Yes, and the Santa Cruz Museum of Natural History says it's safe to say the tooth is less than 1 million years old.
Look like this, but this. I'm just kidding. Anyways, carrying on, you're looking at our nation's capital, and senators passing a bill late last night to prevent the nation from defaulting on its debt.
That's right. The bill heads now to President Joe Biden's desk, but not all lawmakers are celebrating. John Lawrence reports.
After a late night on Capitol Hill, the debt ceiling dilemma comes to an end.
The yeas are 63, the nays are 36. The 60-vote threshold having been achieved, the bill is passed.
The Fiscal Responsibility Act of 2023, which got through the House earlier this week, also succeeds in the Senate.
We've saved the country from the scourge of default, even though there were some on the other side who wanted default.
The measure also places a cap on non-defense spending, cuts some COVID-19 relief funds, and increases work requirements for some food stamp recipients.
Of course, nobody got everything they wanted. There was give on both sides, but this agreement was a very good outcome.
Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell released a statement applauding the passage of the bill, but added, quote, "Our work is far from over." Opinions about the bill range from glasses half full.
Is it a home run? No. It's maybe a single, maybe a double, but I don't think anyone expected that Kevin McCarthy could deliver any base runners at all, and he has.
Two pretty pessimistic.
This is a bill that weakens us in the fight against climate change. It takes food away from hungry people. It makes students who are struggling on student loan debt locked in harder on making their payments.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
All right, time for some fun Friday stuff here. The square is where, of course, downtown Dayton. We do have temperatures mid to upper 80s. I believe they have DJ Liftoff out there. I'll have to double check that, make sure I got the name right. But yes, it is going to be quite a fun one. Now, tomorrow, Strawberry Festival time. Of course, that is in Troy. We do have temperatures starting out 10 a.m. So that's, I believe, about the time of the opening ceremony, give or take a couple of minutes, of course, for any type of mic checks and things of that nature. But by 3 p.m., should be in the low 90s. Start getting later into the evening. These temperatures aren't going to crash too much. In fact, a lot of the day tomorrow should be low 90s. It's going to yet again be scorching. So today, tomorrow, it's going to be a very much so hot pattern over the area. This is not going to be particularly that hospitable to, let's say, craziness outside. But you can still get out there and attempt to enjoy it. Just make sure you're drinking plenty of liquids. On the roads this morning, things are moving smoothly on the interstates and state roads, 70, 75. No crashes or anything to report. Still there's construction on 675 as well.
Taking a live look at the Miami Valley Jail's website, this man, Nicholas DeBello, remains behind bars after pleading not guilty to charges related to a deadly accident. Now, DeBello is accused of driving away from a crash on I-75, which killed 20-year-old Emily Ryan. Officers arrested him in Kentucky. Now, DeBello is charged with failure to stop after an accident and tampering with evidence charges.
Dayton police are right now searching for a suspect after a shooting on Center Street. Officials responded to a call around 10:40 yesterday morning. A person told police they were hurt by someone they knew, who then drove away. That suspect was gone when officers arrived. We're still working to learn more on the victim's condition.
The 84-year-old man accused of shooting a black teen who went to the wrong house is now pleading not guilty. Andrew Lester is charged with first-degree assault for shooting 17-year-old Ralph Yarl. The Jarl knocked on Lester's door trying to pick up his siblings, but went to the wrong address. Lester says he was scared Yarl was trying to rob him.
Ohio is now the latest state sending troopers to the southern border. Governor DeWine just announced he's sending 14 state troopers to Texas. Governor Greg Abbott recently asked for help with border surveillance. OSHP will do a 2-week assignment in Texas, but won't be making arrests.
We're getting new videos showing the Thunderbirds in action. Check this out. They took to the skies after the Air Force Academy's graduation in Colorado Springs. Ooh, love it. The air show happened moments after yesterday's hat toss. Some fans from across the city even brought lawn chairs and blankets to watch it outside the stadium. And you can catch the Thunderbirds right here in the Miami Valley this summer. I love watching them whenever they come to the air show. They're going to be performing at the Dayton Air Show July 22nd and the 23rd.
Coming up, you're taking a live look over Dayton this morning. The Gem City's Pride Festival kicks off tonight. It all starts this evening with the affair on the square, a stop by Courthouse Square for live entertainment and food trucks. It starts at 6.
And tomorrow's Pride Parade starts at noon. It starts at Cooper Park. People will be walking through downtown before ending at Courthouse Square. Once the parade ends, there'll be live entertainment, vendors, and food at the square, and the whole city is buzzing. There's tons going on this weekend, so hopefully folks can get out, enjoy the heat.
Yeah, it should be good, perfect weather for it. So 5:35 our time right now. Don't forget you can get your headlines scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
And your weather right here on the side of your screen all morning long, even during commercials.
Over 3 decades serving the community, today at Hometown Hero, Adam Arrow highlights a special retirement for a Montgomery County deputy. A longtime and distinguished Montgomery County law enforcer calling it a career.
Adam Arrow shows us why Chief Deputy Daryl Wilson is a hometown hero.
This week, Chief Deputy Darrell Wilson, he retired from the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office. He served there for 32 years. The Sheriff's Office says his accomplished career reflects his humble personality and devotion to public service. In 2008, he was promoted to major, and in 2019 to Chief Deputy. And through it all, his colleagues say he recognized the unique opportunity as a role model, and his impact on the community goes far beyond the badge too. Wilson has been a member of the governor's Law Enforcement Advisory Group, which aims in part to eliminate bias and racial inequity. He's earned far too many awards to count, to be completely honest, throughout his career for his service, including being recognized as one of the region's top 10 outstanding African-American men for his community involvement and leadership. I have to say, if you add it all up, in my eyes, Wilson defines what it means to be a hometown hero. A big congratulations to him on a remarkable career. Please join me in wishing him a wonderful and much-deserved retirement.
If you know someone that's a hometown hero, please let us know. Grab your phone and scan the QR code.
You can chime in your submission through our app. We just need a description of why they're a hometown hero and a few pictures or video.
Good morning. This is what it's going to be for today. It'll be a day where, great for ice cream. I know the ice cream person, Mobile, has been in around my neighborhood, and I made the joke a couple times about how much I want to be out there. But yeah, it is going to be the type of day where you're going to get a puddle here in seconds. Why? Because we're going to be in the low 90s, and with the generally sunny weather, this is going to be a time period where, yet again, we are going to be talking about the potential for not just a little bit of melting, but significant melting. And just a reminder outside, if you're going to be out and about, you just want to make sure you're drinking plenty of liquids, whether that's water, juice, or something similar. You don't want to be drinking anything that's going to be super sugary, because, that's not going to help you. You just want to make sure you are staying hydrated outside as well. So it's going to be another warm one with temperatures in the low 90s. Yesterday we hit 89 degrees. It was warm, but this is going to be just warm, but then some.
But you know what? The thing is it has been warm, but the humidity hasn't been bad, so it's been manageable. I've actually kind of enjoyed it.
Bearable is the way I would put it. Is, you get outside, and I mowed the lawn 2 days ago. I was pouring sweat. Yesterday I just sat on the porch and it was fine. And I think you're right about that. The humidity levels have been okay. I will say this. My mom, I love her to death, and Mom, don't kill me for saying this, but when she got a little lazy and it got this hot, waffles and ice cream for dinner. And I'm thinking to myself, that sounds
I get it.
Yeah, and I'm thinking to myself, that sounds really good tonight.
Yeah, that does sound good. Sign me up. Our time right now, 5:41. Still to come, the Reds trying to keep their win streak alive. Just ahead, Matt Digby has highlights from Fenway Park.
You're watching Your Day.
The NBA Finals getting underway last night right here on ABC 22. The Denver Nuggets taking Game 1 behind Nikola Jokic. Now the triple-double as they beat the Miami Heat 104-93. The Nuggets, for the first time in franchise history, making the finals in a fun moment earlier this week in the Mile High City. That's Rocky, the Nuggets mascot, who unveiled a street sign honoring the team. Denver's mayor and multiple workers from the city gathered at the state capitol to recognize the Western Conference champs, and Sports Illustrated now highlighting their famous mascot. They listed the highest paid mascots in the league, and Rocky is making the bank. Wow. The Denver Nuggets mascot collecting $625,000 a year. Give me that job. Followed by Atlanta's Harry the Hawk at $600,000, Chicago's Benny the Bull at $400,000, and Go the Gorilla, who's the mascot for the Phoenix Suns, makes $200,000. Go the Gorilla needs a new agent. Again, you can see Rocky on Sunday night for Game 2 of the NBA Finals right here on ABC 22.
The road to Omaha officially starts today for the Wright State Raiders, the Horizon League champs playing in the NCAA tournament for the third straight year. This is the schedule today for the Terre Haute Regional. Raider gang gets the home team and the 14th ranked Indiana State Sycamores. First pitch today is at 1. The other matchup features Iowa and North Carolina. All games over the next 3 days will be played at Bob Warren Fields at Indiana State. For more sports, here's Matt Digby.
Good morning. I'm Matt Digby with a look at sports. Entering Thursday, the Cincinnati Reds had the longest active win streak in the major leagues, 5 games. They'd taken 2 at Boston and had a chance to finish a sweep of the Red Sox at Fenway on Thursday evening. The Reds did open the scoring in the third. This RBI double from Kevin Newman bringing home Kirk Casale. Then they would tie the game in the 8th thanks to Matt McLain, but the bottom of the 8th belonging to the Red Sox. 6 runs in that frame, including a 2-run home run from Connor Wong. The 8-2 final denying the Reds a 6th straight win. Cincinnati will return home this weekend for 4 games with Milwaukee. The Brewers currently leading the NL Central 3 games ahead of the Reds. Cincinnati also home Monday through Wednesday against the Dodgers. Dayton Dragons also in action Thursday against the West Michigan Whitecaps. Like the Reds, the Dragons opening the scoring thanks to a sacrifice fly here from Edwin Arroyo. However, the visitors taking a 3-1 lead going to the bottom of the 6th. That's when Ruben Ibarra tied the game with a 2-run homer to center. But West Michigan going back in front, and the Dragons' rally attempt coming up short, meaning a 6-5 loss. This series will continue with 3 more games this weekend. Then the Dragons are home next week against the Cedar Rapids Colonels. That'll do it for sports. I'm Matt Digby.
Good morning. Across the country, still dealing with some stronger storms out to our west. I just don't see it being a day where we're going to have to worry about storms. In fact, I was just looking at the Storm Prediction Center. It does look like a decent outbreak may be possible yet again across that panhandle area of Texas. That's where we saw not only storms, but also some flooding waters. Meanwhile, clouds for today, that should be about it. Tomorrow, at least there is some chance of wet weather. I'm tracking the potential for a couple of showers, maybe even a thunder boomer or 2, but those would be very much so few and far between. Meanwhile, in terms of temperature today, low 90s yet again. You're going to see some clouds. I'm going to call it partly to mostly sunny, but again, more emphasis on that mostly sunny. Here's the thing, though. If you're trying to get out of the heat, you're going to have to go a ways away, whether it's Cleveland or Chicago, because note the temperatures, Cincinnati down towards Indy and even Columbus, all going to be in the 90s. It'll be in the 60s overnight, so nowhere near as cool as it is right now. Will actually be at least a handful of degrees warmer. Tomorrow, though, cooler during the daytime as that more humid air takes a little bit of a while to actually heat up and cool down. I do think that on Sunday we'll probably see temperatures fall at least a few degrees. I'm not quite sure if we'll see, let's say, low 90s or if we're going to see more mid 80s, but somewhere in that ballpark on Sunday. I think that some of us actually still be a little bit on the warmer side, especially well south of Dayton. Meanwhile, Wednesday and Thursday, temperatures mid 70s. Finally, some relief from the heat, but not a lot of relief from the dry weather for all those that need some rain. All right, as for traffic this morning, right for now, things are quiet across all the major interstates and state roads. Haven't had any tie-ups or concerns thus far on your morning commute.
5:48 our time right now. Donut lovers rejoice, closing out the work week with the perfect breakfast. In minutes, we highlight this sweet treat.
You're watching Your Day.
In this morning's GMA First Look, an ABC News exclusive.
Were you afraid when he approached your car?
It was just over 6 weeks ago that Texas high school cheerleader Peyton Washington was shot 3 times in a grocery store parking lot while carpooling home from practice. And this morning on GMA, she's telling her story to Michael Strahan.
Tell me what you remember.
I was actually texting and eating Twizzlers like...
You being a teenager.
Exactly. When I heard the first shot, I had turned immediately with my blanket. I didn't know where it was coming from or anything, but it being so loud that my ears were ringing, like I knew to turn and do something. We were trying to get away as fast as we could. All the other girls were screaming. I really was just telling myself to breathe. It was hard to breathe.
And you can see Michael Strahan's exclusive interview with 18-year-old Texas cheerleader Peyton Washington coming up at 7 a.m. With your GMA First Look, I'm Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
Choosing a treatment for your chronic migraine, 15 or more headache days a month, each lasting 4 hours or more, can be overwhelming. So ask your doctor about Botox. Botox prevents headaches in adults with chronic migraine before they even start. It's the #1 prescribed branded chronic migraine treatment. So far, more than 5 million Botox treatments have been given to over 850,000 chronic migraine patients.
Effects of Botox may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away, as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness can be signs of a life-threatening condition. Side effects may include allergic reactions, neck and injection site pain, fatigue, and headache. Don't receive Botox if there's a skin infection. Tell your doctor your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects.
In a survey, 92% of current users said they wish they talked to their doctor and started Botox sooner. So ask your doctor if Botox is right for you. Learn how AbbVie could help you.
The Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
Good morning and welcome to the Watson's Weather Patio, where this morning we're waking up to a very quiet start, a little bit of a crisper start to the morning, to be fair as well. I don't really see much in the way of cloud cover out here on the patio, but I wouldn't doubt that there may be just a cloud or two just about this time, because we do see just maybe whatever moisture overnight condenses and generally gets into the atmosphere and just cools off a little bit. Either way, it's certainly a little bit drier than this time 24 hours ago, but it's about the same temperature, give or take a few degrees. So if you're going to be planning your day, really there's no major issues as of right now. The only issue would be, I guess, it's going to be hot again. Temperatures should be able to get low 90s, so it's a little bit of a warmer, drier air mass, and what that means for us is it's got the better potential for it to warm up rapidly during the daytime. But again, right for now, here on the Watson's Weather Patio, it is fairly quiet. Don't have too much in the way of cloud cover across the area on our radar and satellite picture, but I would expect to see just a couple of afternoon and evening clouds yet again.
Take a live look from Earth, but what about Mars, a new influencer coming to the World Wide Web? The Red Planet making its live streaming debut today on YouTube. This is wild. The European Space Agency says it will stream an hour of the first live images taken directly from Mars. The event celebrates the 20th anniversary of the launch of the agency's Mars Express, which is a mission to take 3D images of the planet's surface. While the agency hopes to stream a new image about every 50 seconds, the SA says it will have the stream up on its YouTube channel starting at noon today.
Work hard, play hard, and today maybe check out early. Your supervisor may not like it, but today is National Leave the Office Early Day. Yeah! Oh yeah, it's a day to, Nathan, you can't leave early, you got your day extra. No. It's a day to remind hardworking Americans to take a little time for themselves. About 1/3 of Americans work more than 40 hours a week, and with the economy, many people are working 2 jobs or more, logging 60 to 80 hours per week. National Leave the Office Early Day was started by an employee productivity specialist. The goal is to help us strike the right balance between working to live versus living to work.
I leave work early every day. Anyways, in the words of Homer Simpson, donuts. Today is National Donut Day, and to celebrate, a number of bakeries and shops are giving away free donuts. That includes Krispy Kreme and Dunkin'. And check out your local stop for deals and to celebrate. Pick up a dozen for your friends or colleagues. Donut Day goes all the way back to World War II, when the Salvation Army served up donuts to troops, oftentimes cooked in oil in soldiers' helmets. And shout out to our local donut shops this morning. Bill's Donuts. Shout out to my favorite, Jim's up in Vandalia. Got, hole-in-one donuts over in Moraine. So lots of great donut shops here in the Miami Valley. And do you guys have a favorite donut whenever you guys go? Alex?
I love a classic glazed donut.
Yeah.
But I also like Boston cream donuts and really any jellied. I love just donuts of all kinds. I don't discriminate.
You're like, yes, I mean,
I'm going to go maple donuts. Can I throw down something?
Maple donuts?
Yeah, maple donuts. If more companies gave donuts on Donut Day, then I wouldn't have to leave the office early. I'm still going to do it, but I wouldn't have to do it. That's just throwing
I'll leave the office early, go get donuts, bring them back for you guys, and then go back
I was going to say, there's nothing.
I like this plan.
There's nothing that could keep me from not leaving the office early.
We know.
Except for our podcast.
Well,
you're not going to be able to leave until that's over, and that's at least till 10:30. So.
Well, then
it's
that's
not
still
really leaving that early.
It's leaving early enough for me.
Like 20 minutes.
I'll take it when I can get
Fair
it.
enough.
We got a lot more coming up on your day at 6 a.m. A Chipotle with a Chipotle Lane just ahead, where you find the burrito drive-through and when the new location is set to open up.
And low 90s expected today and tomorrow. It's going to be hot outside with these temperatures some 10 to 12 degrees above average. We'll slowly begin to cool off Sunday and a Monday, and by Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week, we could actually have temperatures in the 70s. We're pointing out your best chance of rain at this point over the next 72 hours is Saturday, with maybe just a stray shower possible.
5:57 is our time right now. You're watching Your Day.
All right, well, it seems that we are here and having a dumpster fire already this morning, but thank you for joining us. I'm Nathan Edwards.
And I'm Alex King. Your 3 quick stories to get your day started.
Dayton Mayor Jeffrey Mims raising the pride flag at City Hall. This kicks off a month of celebrations, including a parade and festival tomorrow at Courthouse Square.
Should be a good time. And the Ohio State Highway Patrol warning drivers to pay attention in work zones. May seem obvious, but in Springfield, this driver drove into wet concrete at an exit ramp on I-70. There are no words.
Good life choices right there.
Yeah,
just pay attention, people. It's not that difficult.
No.
Apparently it is. And it's First Friday at downtown Dayton. Get out and enjoy some patio beers, maybe a concert down at the Levitt Pavilion, or stroll the streets. It's going to be a good old time. Starts tonight at 5. Alex, the weather
Patio
is...
wine for me.
Patio, a whiter red.
I like beer.
Whiter red on a night like, even on a warm night?
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on.
A chilled red wine.
A chilled, there we go, a chilled. Now to our top story this morning.
While you were sleeping, crews in Dayton battled what they're calling a suspicious house fire.
You're looking at a scene on Edison Street in the Roosevelt neighborhood. Crews tell us it started around 2:30 this morning. They found a building completely engulfed in the fire that spread to a boarded up house next door. According to fire crews, 3 people were living in that second house. Both homes are a total loss.
And you're looking live at the White House. A bill to prevent the nation's debt default is now heading to the president's desk.
We're expecting remarks from the president today.
The 60-vote threshold having been achieved, the bill is passed.
The Senate gave final approval late last night, voting 63 to 36. Senators spent hours voting on proposed amendments to the deal, all of which failed.
Ohio Senator J.D. Vance voted no on the bill. He said in its current form, he has significant concerns.
The basic issue that I have with this package is pretty straightforward. If you think about the goal here, the goal is to, on the one hand, pay the country's debts, make sure we don't default. That's important and necessary. On the other hand, put us on a more sustainable pathway long term.
The U.S. Treasury says the country will run out of money to pay debts by Monday, so the president will need to approve the bill before then. President Joe Biden tweeted out this message. He says senators from both parties protected our economic progress by passing the bill, and he looks forward to signing it into law as soon as possible. He also says he'll address the country sometime today.
And coming up in just about a half hour, John Lawrence has more details on the bill's passing in the Senate and the senators who voted no.
We are looking at right now temperatures in the 50s, only a couple of us in the 60s. So this is going to be a cooler start to your day, but at the same token, it ends up getting warmer. So we almost flip-flop. The few degrees we lose during the morning, we'll gain during the daytime with these temperatures in the low 90s as compared to yesterday where we were in the upper 80s. Meanwhile, Dragons still in town. They are in the midst of that homestand. Of course, Matt Digby of highlights from last night, but for today, it's going to be scorching hot, 90 degrees, and depending on the launch angle, that may be enough for, well, probably maybe not a home run, but at least a double off into the gap. It is going to be a very much so warm one outside, so if you're heading out to the ball game, make sure you're drinking plenty of liquids. Meanwhile, you know, if you are at home and want to get let's see a couple things done. You want to check out Your Day Dayton. Of course, we've got the Your Day Extra podcast as well, so excited for that. One thing I don't think anybody is ever excited for is the roads. Right for now, things are fairly quiet across the major interstates and state roads. That does include Wagner Ford. I-70 and 72, you do see the smoke there. I'll let Alex and Nathan describe the scene there, but it is something that if you are driving that way, you may encounter.
2 people are now dead after a semi-truck overturned in Dayton. We first brought you this story as breaking news yesterday morning. The accident closed I-75 north by Stanley Avenue for hours. Both people who died were inside the semi when it crashed. The cause is still under investigation.
The Dayton police officer who shot a man at a traffic stop in April will not face charges. The Montgomery County Sheriff's Office investigated Officer Riley Brown for the shooting on Salem Avenue. Police say Brown saw 36-year-old Delandrius Webster pull a handgun while running from officers. That's when Brown reportedly shot at him.
You're looking at footage of the drive-by shooting in Cincinnati that put 3 children and a man in the hospital. Now police say they found the car used in the shooting. Take a look at your screen. It's a black Hyundai Sonata with tinted windows, temporary Kentucky plates, and a broken out rear window. The people shot are still recovering this morning in 2 different hospitals.
The city of Springfield announcing its next fire chief. Jacob King, this man right here, is an Air Force veteran and former fire chief at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. He also served as fire chief in Bethel Township. He's taking over for Chief Brian Miller once he retires.
Warmer weather means you're probably turning up your AC. That could lead to a higher energy bill.
But a recent auction could bring your rates down. Clara Faith tells us what officials at AES are saying.
Good news for AES Ohio customers. Starting this month, you can see a decrease in your energy bill. This comes after the Public Utility Commission of Ohio conducted its annual auction for utility companies to bid prices based on electric supply. AES Ohio representative says customers could see a $1.03 decrease in their bill starting this month.
PUCO bid for that respective utility to get a fair and balanced price for that day based on market conditions. We are the lowest in the state of Ohio for transmission and distribution rates.
I also spoke with Duke Energy, who serves 500 customers in the Dayton area. The company tells me customers will see an average increase of nearly $37 a month on their bill. Reporting in Dayton, Clara Faith, Dayton 24/7 Now News.
All right, as Nick alluded to earlier, we do have a breaking news situation developing right now in Springfield. This is a live look from our ODOT camera at I-70 and State Route 72 near Limestone Street in Springfield. You see large plumes of smoke and also flashing lights off in the distance. Now, we got a call in about a commercial fire at Leffel Lane, and right now you see emergency crews out there. We do have our crew heading out to the scene to get a closer look at what exactly is happening there. But again, you can see large plumes of smoke coming from a building. You see fire crews working quickly to try to put it out. We are working to get more information for you, and of course we'll update you both on air and online as soon as that information becomes available. And of course, for breaking news alerts sent directly to your phone, make sure you download the Dayton 24/7 Now app. It's available in the Apple App Store and Google Play. Just search Dayton 24/7 Now. And now, live look at Troy at this hour. The Troy Strawberry Festival kicks off tomorrow. It's the largest festival in downtown Troy and one of the best here in the Miami Valley. This year's theme is Berries Rock. There's going to be features in concerts, art, and vendors, and all things strawberry, plus a beer and cider garden. Yum. That's on top of the other food trucks and vendors working hard to make the festival special for families.
And the festival took to Facebook to clear up some confusion about scam posts. The event is free. You don't need to pay for tickets. Also, there is no more vendor space available, so do not pay for a place. If you have questions, you can contact the festival directly.
The Dayton VA is hosting a symposium today in honor of National Cancer Survivors Day. They're going to have a vendor fair, hourly cancer walks, and box lunches. They're encouraging veterans and the rest of the community to attend at 10 a.m. This building at 305 in the VA off of Kentucky Avenue.
6:08 is our time right now. Don't forget you can get your headlines scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
And your weather on the side of your screen all morning long, even during commercials.
The Food and Drug Administration now says there are more than a dozen cancer drugs which are in short supply. I'm Liz Bonus. We've been following the journey of a prostate cancer survivor. We will share just how he has overcome. It is just ahead.
You're watching Your Day.
Good morning. Here's the view right now over Dayton, where sun has risen across the horizon. You can see camera switching back and forth between its different feeds, whether it's the daytime or nighttime feed, and thus the little bit of a change in picture. As for today, it's going to be warm. Tomorrow, probably just about as warm. Difference is tomorrow we may have a little bit more humid conditions. That means if you're heading out to the Strawberry Festival, expect it to be very much so hot and maybe not necessarily humid, but definitely not dry. Low 80s expected at 10 a.m. By the time we get towards 3 p.m., we'll be low 90s, and then 8 p.m., temperatures mid to upper 80s. And note, tomorrow, a little bit more cloud cover. There is at least some chance of a stray shower, maybe not necessarily at the Strawberry Festival, but across the Miami Valley, and maybe just enough moisture for 1 or 2 somewhere in the area. So keep in mind tomorrow you may just want to have your weather app ready to go and make sure that you have a look at the radar because, again, at least some, even if it's very low end, chance of rain. As for this morning, here's what it looks like on our traffic cams across the board. It does look very quiet with the exception I-70 near 72. Of course, that's where we do have smoke crossing over the highway in that area. But as of right now, doesn't seem to be affecting traffic in around that 70-72. Perhaps maybe just a little bit more slow going as those cars pass that through the area.
Our time right now is 6:13 at Chipotle with a Chipotle Lane just ahead where you can find the burrito drive-thru and when the new location's set to open.
You're watching Your Day. We've got some breaking news this morning just under our newsroom. In Springfield, a facility is on fire. You can see from our traffic cam, we've got very heavy, large plumes of smoke. Crews are working to put that fire out, but you can see it again from the highway, so this may affect your morning commute this morning. We do have crews on the way, and we're working to learn anything new. We will keep you updated on air and online at Dayton247now.com. You can download our Dayton 24/7 Now app and get breaking news push alerts sent directly to your phone. Just download it in Google Play and Apple App Stores. A cancer survivor says when it comes to drug shortages right now, you may need to be your own advocate.
Medical reporter Liz Bonus shares his nationwide search to find a drug that appears to extend life, as the FDA says it's in short supply.
Hey there, hello to you. For weeks, we've been following one survivor who's had quite a journey finding a drug that is on this short supply list. It is used to treat prostate cancer.
I waited about 6 months from the time that I knew that I needed to be on this treatment.
The treatment is called Pluvicto. Steve Abbott was finally able to get his first treatment by infusion here at Ohio's urology group. It is what's called a radiopharmaceutical drug made by Novartis, which provided this manufacturing video.
It specifically will attach on to a part of the cancer cell that has a membrane or base layer called PSMA.
Once it attaches to that PSMA target, it can inject the cancer cells with radiation and destroy them. The only problem?
The medication really has been somewhat on shortage since the beginning.
Dr. Brooke Edwards told me the medical supply chain problems were magnified in the pandemic.
Whether it's cancer related or not, we just do not have product many times.
The FDA says at least a dozen other cancer drugs are also in short supply, so doctors are swapping the similar medications if possible, or trying to find the drugs outside the U.S. Steve's treatment had to come from Italy because there is no other like it.
This treatment is very impactful. A lot of advanced prostate cancer treatments kind of manage the condition, but this is showing actual quantifiable extension of life benefit.
So after searching and waiting, here's what Steve Abbott wants others in the same struggle to know.
To a certain degree, you have to empower yourself to ask the right questions to make sure that you're being enough of your own advocate.
He'll know in a few months how well it's working and feels it's every bit worth the effort. Now, just a note, after we interviewed Steve, he was initially told his next treatments were being canceled due to an insurance problem. When we inquired about this, however, the treatment team said it was a mistake. Those appointments have now been rescheduled, and we will continue to follow his journey. I'm medical reporter Liz Bonus. Now back to you.
Good morning. Temperatures are in the upper 50s and low 60s. We do have, right for now, a quiet start to your morning weather-wise. Dew points are actually 40s and 50s. It is surprisingly, maybe not surprisingly is the right word, but it definitely has a crispness that was lacking yesterday. And that is certainly making it feel a little bit cooler this morning, in addition to it actually being cooler. One thing that it's worth pointing out, when it's hot and humid, it takes a lot more for us to feel cooler. When it's actually drier, that air tends to wick the moisture off your skin, and hence that cooling factor. That's why we sweat. That's why the pool can feel really refreshing, especially when it's drier. When it's obviously hot and humid, completely different story. Temperatures are going to be in the mid-60s for tomorrow. I think it's a more humid day, so if you're jumping in the pool, it may not be quite as, let's say, as comfortable outside as it is today. Meanwhile, temperatures retreat from the 90s into the 80s and back into the 70s. Notice not a lot of chances of rain. We'll talk more about Saturday and maybe a shower or two possible. So that's what it looks like, at least weather-wise. We're going to be fairly quiet. Meanwhile, traffic. Obviously, it's something that we're going to have to watch closely is the 70 and 72 area with the ongoing fire. I'm watching the traffic. The lights there, obviously people may be just taking it a little bit slower, gawking at it, or perhaps just trying to avoid some of the thicker plumes. But in terms of roadways, that's not really affecting things too much. In fact, because the traffic is a little bit lighter there, we're not seeing too much of a delay. So something we'll keep our eyes on all throughout the morning. But again, smoke may be crossing the highway in and around that area.
Topping this morning's Dayton Business Journal headlines, another Chipotle is on its way to the Miami Valley. A new franchise location is being proposed on a nearly 1-acre lot in Lebanon on Columbus Avenue. The restaurant would be the second in the immediate area. It would include a Chipotlane drive-through window and be the 12th in the region. To read more about this story and others like it, head to Dayton247now.com. Just click on the news tab and then select Dayton Business Journal.
Our time right now is 6:21. Digital producer Max getting you ready for your weekend with your Facebook poll question coming up in minutes.
You're watching Your Day.
Time to do some pet of the day here on Your Day, and we celebrate your pets and Georgia, Ace, and Tilly. And I had to make sure that I put these in correct order. We're just going to put all the dogs on their chain because otherwise it won't fit. But Georgia, obviously the pug, Ace, the Boston, and then Tilly is the Frenchie there. And I believe Andrew, who sent these in, called them the Smush Face crew. I do like that as a nickname for them. Meanwhile, for us today, it is going to be a day where it's going to be quite warm outside. Temperatures 80s as soon as 9-10 this morning. By the time we get towards noontime, we'll probably make a run towards 90. I think it's more, let's say, mid to late stage afternoon, evening that will crack that 90-degree mark. And then from there, we should be able to stay there all throughout the afternoon and evening. So it is going to be very much so a hot one yet again across the area. Keep that in mind as you plan out your day. Again, things are going to be quite a bit toasty out there, so it is going to be another day where you just want to make sure you're drinking plenty of liquids. It also goes for the pets as well. On the roads this morning, right for now, the interstates are okay. 70 and 72, we do have that ongoing fire, and we do have a crews heading to the scene, but I wanted to show you the view of that. You can see the smoke billowing across the interstate, so there may be just a little bit of a delay as well, so that's something to keep in mind. Other than that, things are pretty quiet for right now. Again, interstates and state roads.
All right, digital producer Max is here now. And Max, we got a poll question this morning.
Yeah, so you're going to be excited.
Hold on, let's do it.
You ready?
Hold on to it.
Here we go. What is it?
National Donut Day.
Yeah!
Wow. Who would have thought? So naturally, I want to ask, what is the best kind of donut? And as Daytonians, I think you have some pretty good options.
Well, you know, that's the thing is people get very passionate about donuts here in Miami Valley. I mean, this is like one of the hot topics right next to pizza. I'd say pizza's 1A. Yeah. Donuts is 1B.
Coming from Cincinnati, Bill's is special.
Yeah, Bill's
It's
is good. I love Jim's up in Vandalia. But we're talking the kind of donut you like. And Nick, what is your favorite?
Maple glazed or a maple donut, or that just an original traditional glazed donut. I'm very simple.
Alex?
That's fair.
I've never had a maple donut. I feel like that's an old man donut.
It is a little bit. It's good.
I know. I like
here.
a traditional glazed donut. I like Boston cream. I like really any kind of donut. I will eat sprinkles. I will eat any kind of frosting. I will eat.
Yeah. You know what? I've been, mine is always, I get the cream filled with the chocolate on top, and then I get a butter twist whenever I go up to Jim's
Oh, those
on the
are good, the
weekend.
butter twists,
Yeah, the butter
yeah.
twists are great.
Super good.
And then also, Jim's actually makes a cream horn, which is so good. It's like almost like a croissant-like horn filled with cream and powdered sugar on top. I'm telling you, game changer. Max, what's your favorite? Real
You
quick?
know, I don't mean to be a brown noser, but sour cream from Bill's.
I mean,
so good.
You can't beat it.
Can I get real quick? The best donut is a free donut. So management, looking at you this morning, bring some in for us.
We'll see.
I endorse that 100%. Max, we appreciate it. Go chime in right now on Facebook. Our time right now, 6:28, still to come.
This is from our O.Cams, bottom of the right, looking at a blaze in Springfield. A facility is on fire. We have crews headed to the scene. Just Ed will have the latest for you.
And a huge moment, last night on Capitol Hill. In minutes, John Lawrence breaks down the debt deal and the latest move by the Senate.
But first, here's Genevieve Gorder with America Steals and Deals.
The following segment is sponsored by Knocking.
The space we live in is so important to all of us, and that really starts with the base of a healthy, clean home, including the air that we breathe. And there are so many pollutants that can affect the air inside of our homes, from our pets, dust, allergens. What's the solution? Here's one. This is the Clean Light Air. It's super compact, easy to use. It even fits in the cup holder of your car. It's an air filter that can remove up to 99.9% of particles you don't want in your house, like smoke, odors, pet dander, air pollution. And this thing is small, but really mighty. It can purify up to 161 square feet at a time. So think about it in your office, your kid's dorm room, for a small bedroom. So many people love using these in the kitchen while they're cooking. Even if you've never thought about the air quality in your space before, you will absolutely feel the difference right away with this product. Place them anywhere your pet hangs out, or when you're going somewhere running errands, put it in your car. It's super quiet. It's super easy to use. And another thing I love, you can charge your devices at the same time. There's a USB port. Add your favorite essential oil to the sponge inside so the air will not only be clean, it will smell great. And today we're offering a 2-for-1. Both of these for the price of less than you normally pay for just one. Take advantage of this deal. Go to asadeals.com.
You're waking up to breaking news this morning. You're taking a live look at our ODOT cameras at I-70 and State Route 72, Limestone Strait in Springfield this morning. Take a look at the top right of your screen right there. You still see smoke coming from a large industrial fire in Springfield. Now, our crews just arrived on the scene and tell us that it's at the U.S. Express Springfield terminal.
Yeah, and just moments ago you could see large plumes of smoke, but it has cleared down a little bit since about 6, since we first noticed the fire. But we are going to pull up a live look from the scene. Our photographer Les has it pulled up there. You can see crews are working on it. You can still see there is some smoke as they're still continuing to pour water down onto that building. So we will continue to bring you updates from the Breaking News Center all morning long. To get breaking news push alerts sent directly to your phone, download our Dayton 24/7 Now app in the Google Play and Apple app stores.
You're taking a live look at our nation's capital this morning and at senators passing a bill late last night to prevent the nation from defaulting on its debt.
The bill heads now to President Joe Biden's desk, but not all lawmakers are celebrating. John Lawrence reports.
After a late night on Capitol Hill, the debt ceiling dilemma comes to an end.
The yeas are 63, the nays are 36. The 60-vote threshold having been achieved, the bill is passed.
The Fiscal Responsibility Act of 2023, which got through the House earlier this week, also succeeds in the Senate.
We've saved the country from the scourge of default, even though there were some on the other side who wanted default.
The measure also places a cap on non-defense spending, cuts some COVID-19 relief funds, and increases work requirements for some food stamp recipients.
Of course, nobody got everything they wanted. There was give on both sides, but this agreement was a very good outcome.
Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell released a statement applauding the passage of the bill, but added, quote, "Our work is far from over." Opinions about the bill range from glasses half full.
Is it a home run? No. It's maybe a single, maybe a double, but I don't think anyone expected that Kevin McCarthy could deliver any base runners at all, and he has.
Two pretty pessimistic.
This is a bill that weakens us in the fight against climate change. It takes food away from hungry people. It makes students who are struggling on student loan debt locked in harder on making their payments.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Good morning. Here's the view right now over Dayton, where the sun has now started to rise over the horizon. And again, it is a fairly quiet morning thus far. It's going to be a quiet day today, but it's worth pointing out that we've got a ton of events going on, so it's a busy Friday in that regard. At least weather-wise, it should be just what we've seen as of late. A lot of sunshine, a couple clouds as we get into the afternoon. Probably not as many as yesterday, although tomorrow I do think we'll see more clouds. And tomorrow, of course, the Strawberry Festival. So we've got that going on pretty much throughout the daytime tomorrow. Temperatures starting out in the low 80s, should be able to get mid 80s and then even upper 80s and low 90s. It's going to be a scorcher outside at times, and that just brings up, you want to make sure you're drinking plenty of liquids if you're doing that. All right, as for traffic, obviously you saw 70 and 72, the latest update from our reporter and photographer on the scene. But I want to focus on the traffic. Of course, that's near 70. We really haven't seen any type of tie-ups or any type of slowdowns in that area. Meanwhile, on the other roads, it is fairly quiet, so some good news there. And again, some will watch I-70 and State Road 72 and see if we get any delays in the interstates in and around that fire right now.
We now want to give you a live look at the Miami Valley Jail's website. This man, Nicholas DeBello, remains behind bars after pleading not guilty to charges related to a deadly accident. Now, DeBello is accused of driving away from a crash on I-75, which killed 20-year-old Emily Ryan. Officers arrested him in Kentucky. Now, DeBello is charged with failure to stop after an accident and tampering with evidence charges.
Dayton police are right now searching for a suspect after a shooting on Center Street. Officials responded to a call around 10:40 yesterday morning. A person told police they were hurt by someone they knew who then drove away. That suspect was gone when officers arrived. We're still working to learn the victim's condition.
The 84-year-old man accused of shooting a black teen who went to the wrong house is now pleading not guilty. Andrew Lester is charged with first-degree assault for shooting 17-year-old Ralph Yarl. Now, Jarl knocked on Lester's door trying to pick up his siblings, but went to the wrong address. Lester says he was scared Jarl was trying to rob him.
Ohio is now the latest state sending troopers to the southern border. Governor DeWine just announced he's sending 14 state troopers to Texas. Governor Greg Abbott recently asked for help with border surveillance. OSHP will do a 2-week assignment in Texas, but won't be making arrests.
We're getting new video showing the Thunderbirds in action. Check this out. They took to the skies after the Air Force Academy's graduation in Colorado Springs. Beautiful sight there. The air show happened moments after yesterday's hat toss, and some fans across the city even brought out lawn chairs and blankets to watch outside the stadium. Sounds like here in the Miami Valley for our air show, and you can catch the Thunderbirds right here in the Miami Valley this summer. They're going to be performing at the Dayton Air Show July 22nd and the 23rd.
You're taking a live look over Dayton this morning. The Gem City's Pride Festival kicks off tonight. It all starts this evening with a fair on the square. Stop by Courthouse Square for live entertainment and food trucks. It starts at 6.
And tomorrow's Pride Parade starts at noon. It steps off from Cooper Park. People will walk through downtown before ending at Courthouse Square. Once the parade ends, there will be live entertainment, vendors, and food at the square. Lots going on this weekend in the Miami Valley. Summer is in full swing. You love it, don't you?
That just made my day.
Yeah.
Yes. 6:39 our time right now. Don't forget you can get your headlines scrolling at the bottom of your screen.
And your weather on the side of your screen all morning long, even during commercials.
Firefighters are working to put out a fire in Springfield. This is a live shot from our photographer, Les. Water being dumped on this facility. It's a U.S. Express in Springfield. We're going to have more for you coming up in just a few minutes.
Over 3 decades of serving the community. Today in hometown hero Adam Arrow highlights a special retirement for a Montgomery County deputy.
You're watching Your Day.
The Dayton 24/7 Now News app, brought to you by the Jeff Schmidt Auto Group.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
June is here, so is it summer yet? Kinda. There are summer types. Theron Zahn explains.
Well, meteorological summer has to deal with the temperature cycles throughout the seasons, whereas astronomical summer deals with the Earth's distance from the sun. So when it starts to get warm out, you can tell we're getting into meteorological summer. If you're waiting for astronomical summer, that doesn't come until June 21st.
For more content like this, follow the National Weather Desk on Twitter.
Good morning and welcome to the Watson's Weather Patio. We're comfortable. Fair way to describe this morning. Certainly a little bit more crisp, a little bit more dry outside, but not necessarily cold. It's one of those mornings where I'm fairly comfortable in this, and I'm pretty sure a lot of us are probably thinking the same thing as maybe, okay, we got to go to long sleeves for an hour or two, then once it warms up, we'll switch things out. But 60 right now, even on the dot in Dayton. We've got 54 in Troy, so there are a couple cool spots, including Middletown. Part of that is due to that drier air. Drier air, of course, cools more rapidly at night and warms more rapidly during the daytime, especially when get a lot of sunshine. Today we're going to see a lot of that sunshine, especially front half of the day. Second half of the day, we will start to see some clouds moving in. But like yesterday, I think by and large this is going to be a mostly sunny day, with maybe just a period to a partly sunny skies during the afternoon and evening.
A longtime and distinguished Montgomery County law enforcer calling it a career.
Adam Merrill shows us why Chief Deputy Darrell Wilson is a hometown hero.
This week, Chief Deputy Darrell Wilson, he retired from the Montgomery County Sheriff's Office. He served there for 32 years. The Sheriff's Office says his accomplished career reflects his humble personality and devotion to public service. In 2008, he was promoted to Major, and in 2019 to Chief Deputy. And through it all, his colleagues say he recognized the unique opportunity as a role model, and his impact on the community goes far beyond the badge too. Wilson has been a member of the governor's Law Enforcement Advisory Group, which aims in part to eliminate bias and racial inequity. He's earned far too many awards to count, to be completely honest, throughout his career for his service, including being recognized as one of the region's top 10 outstanding African-American men for his community involvement and leadership. I have to say, if you add it all up, in my eyes, Wilson defines what it means to be a hometown hero. A big congratulations to him on a remarkable career. Please join me in wishing him a wonderful and much-deserved retirement.
If you know someone that's a hometown hero, please let us know. Grab your phone and scan the QR code.
And you can chime in your submission through our app. We just need a description of why they're a hometown hero and a few pictures or video.
6:45 is our time right now. A live look from Troy this morning. This is actually in Springfield, sorry, because we are dealing with some breaking news. An industrial fire along West Leffels Lane at a U.S. Express. We're going to have the details for you coming up next.
You're watching Your Day.
Time to do some weather, and it is going to be another generally quiet period across the Great Lakes. There is at least some chance of rain, though, upcoming over the next 24 to 48 hours. Meanwhile, Texas under the gun yet again for some strong to severe storms. I don't really see it being any type of heavy-duty weather for us, but there is at least a chance of a couple of, let's say, showers or even a storm or two firing over the next 24 to 48 hours. Generally speaking, Saturday would be the time period in afternoon, evening. For today, there you see the wisps of clouds moving through. Should actually be a little bit more sunshine than we have seen as of late. Beyond that, again, tomorrow, a couple of scattered showers here or there are possible. I'm not expecting widespread rain or anything organized for that matter. May just be more heat of the day style things. Meanwhile, the ice cream forecast for today, better get it done fast, because otherwise you're going to have a mess on your hands. Temperatures low 90s, and that includes across much of the Great Lakes region as a whole. Exception is Cleveland and Chicago, where it'll probably be a little bit cooler, especially Cleveland, as you do get a little bit of a lake effect from the northeast wind. Not necessarily in terms of moisture, but actually in terms of cooler weather. As for tomorrow, temperatures will be in the low 90s, and then beyond that, temperatures will be in the 80s and 70s. So we'll be cooler next week, but no real organized chances of rain. On the roads this morning, it is, well, been a fairly quiet morning commute thus far. We were watching 70 and 72. Of course, that is where there was that fire. Right for now, I don't think we're seeing quite as much smoke billowing across the interstate. There we go. We'll get a better look at it. Yeah, it does look like there's still maybe some. So if that's part of your morning commute, you may just want to give yourself a little bit of extra time, because some people are starting to gawk at that. But otherwise, no major issues on the interstates.
Our time right now is 6:52. Still to come this morning, we have a live look at downtown Troy. You can see they've got some tents up there as they're preparing for the Strawberry Festival this weekend. Coming up, Tate.